Happy Thursday. It is Therapy Thursday. How are you? How are you? How are you? I'm Dr. Triffy. I'm a licensed psychologist in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm also a licensed professional counselor and an advanced clinical hypnotherapist. I live in Georgia, but I am from the lovely island of Dominica, not to be confused with the Dominican Republic. We love the Dominican Republic, but because we so often get confused, we love to go the extra mile to explain that we are further south. We are between Guadeloupe and Martinique, and we speak English and a French Creole. Of course, I'm American too, but I keep Dominica with me wherever I go. So tonight, this is May, right? And in May, we focus on mental health awareness. So May is Mental Health Awareness Month. This week, a lot of us are preparing for Mother's Day. Mother's Day this year is on Sunday. And of course, a lot of people are excited about Mother's Day. A lot of us can't wait for Mother's Day to get here. But for some people, Mother's Day isn't fun. For some people, Mother's Day isn't fun. So tonight, I want to talk to those people who find Mother's Day to be painful, either because their mothers are no longer here in the physical, or their mothers are here in the physical, but their relationships with their mothers are so painful. Mother's Day is a very hard day for them. Okay? So I want to, by the end of the night, my time with you, offer a tool and just review the tool that I'm hoping that some of you will use between now and Sunday that might cause some, might trigger a positive result. It might, yeah. At the very least, it will offer you a way to release some emotions and maybe thoughts and feelings you've been holding in regarding your mother. And my intention is for you to feel better by the time you're done. Okay? So clearly, we know people like me, my mother died when I was 21. And so for many years, Mother's Day felt very difficult for me. I don't feel that level of pain that I used to feel on Mother's Day anymore because I have found ways to redirect my attention, I would say. So I make the day more about being a present mother for my children versus me focusing on my own mother. Um, that helps me. Mm. That helps me. I'm not sure what you do. If you've lost your mom, I'm not sure what you do to help you on these days. I might offer a few strategies as well in addition to this one. But definitely, as I speak about Mother's Day, the level of pain I used to feel, I don't feel it anymore. But I want to spend some time particularly talking about those mothers who are alive in the flesh, but some of you are having a hard time with them. These days, we call mothers in that category toxic. Toxic is the big buzzword these days, right? So a toxic mother is a mother that creates an environment in your home or even just in your one-to-one relationship where the interactions are so painful that over time that can really impact you, your sense of self, your level of uh, appreciation for that kind of relationship, your ability to even control your emotions, regulate your emotions, and the way you relate to other people. Because that mother child relationship is so powerful, it's so impactful. Toxic mothers, I'm using the word, but I mean, in my view, there's no such thing. They're just human beings who are, many of us any of them doing the best they know how to do. And sometimes when they know better, maybe they have chosen to not do better. I don't know that I'm a subscriber to the toxic mother uh, philosophy, but I'm going to be using the word tonight. So, toxic mothers are often abusive physically, emotionally, or both. And for us as kids, for a child to form a healthy idea or sense of themselves, we need those secure bonds and attachments and that ability to depend on our primary caregivers. So when those needs are not met physically, emotionally, psychologically, they can do a number on us. Okay. So here are some signs you could say of a mother who is in that toxic category. I would say that that level of toxicity can range from very overt to pretty subtle. When I say subtle, I mean they might do things or say things that it might even take you a while to realize what just happened there? What just happened there? I just know that I feel very bad after that interaction with my mother. Okay? So a toxic mother might be sincerely trying to teach you values or teach you skills, teach you the right way to move about in life, but it's their methods, it's the way that that mother is doing it that might destroy your self-esteem and your sense of safety psychologically or emotionally. So like I said before, physical abuse, verbal abuse, name calling, really nasty name calling, using love as a weapon. How can you do that? You can do that by withholding affection or by making uh, love or good treatment contingent upon a child doing exactly what you want, or giving the silent treatment to a child. Some parents will do that for months and months and months, years even. Also, clearly showing favoritism to another child who meets their approval by doing what they want them to do, without complaining, without questioning. There's emotional manipulation, like using guilt, shame, or blame to get you to do what they want. So you might have a mother who is not going to break out a belt, but who's going to use criticism, or make you feel like you're the worst child in the world if you don't do what they want you to do or act the way they want you to act. Yes. Humiliation, making cruel jokes, putting you down in front of other people. I know for many of us, that experience is not common. So it's not something many of us experience, but there's so many people who that is their reality. That is their reality, where the parenting is very harsh, very critical, and very disrespectful. Disrespectful, even in the sense to where they're not willing to listen to your thoughts, they're not willing to listen to your ideas. And when you offer that, those are quickly, dismissed. A toxic environment at home, uh, if you think about it, ideally, home is a sanctuary. Home is a safe place. So you can go after school, yeah, and recover from the day, recover from your interactions. But imagine the child who goes home and for all of your life, what you had instead was the feeling that you were entering into a war zone after you might have been bullied all day at school. So, of course, ideally, home is where you feel loved and safe, but in a toxic environment, You might feel threatened. You might feel ignored and silenced. And most of you who listen to me are adults, but I know I'm speaking to some of you. I know I'm speaking to some of you when I talk about abrasive interactions with your mothers, yelling, screaming, ignoring, no boundaries, no respect for your personhood, no respect for your personal space, your thoughts, your ideas, your emotions, no interest even in the things that you like, that you enjoy, your opinions, your preferences, rigid rules, rigid, unrealistic rules. Yeah. And for many of you, volatile emotions in your mothers. You're not sure whether they're going to be yelling at you, whether they're going to be crying because you did something and they're so irritated, or they're using the tears, many of them, to manipulate your behavior, as in to get you to feel guilty or ashamed. Hmm? And another big one is emotional invalidation. So, what I mean by that is when you do share your feelings of pain, as in, Mom, I don't like it when you do that, just dismissing. Hmm? What are you talking about? You're exaggerating. You're too sensitive. I can't say anything to you. So words like that invalidate our emotions. And they teach us to disregard our feelings. They teach us that our emotions are not important. Hmm? So if a child grows up with a mother like that, who hurts you repeatedly, rejects you, ignores you, most kids tend to believe that it's their fault, that somehow it is something I'm doing wrong, as opposed to making the judgment that, hey, my mother has 20 other ways she could be responding to this one thing I'm doing. Yeah. And these ways, because I see other people's parents, they don't seem to be lining up with the way these other parents are treating their kids. Okay. So the thing with that, as I said earlier, the word toxic, I go easy with it because let's be honest, many parents, and we're talking about mothers tonight, who act that way, they do that because many of them, that's the way they learned how to parent. Additionally, many of these mothers themselves have mental health problems, very often unaddressed, very, very often unaddressed. And so these are adults who, yes, their physical bodies are mature and they could give birth to little humans, but they were not emotionally ready or psychologically ready to teach, to guide, to love another human being. So they might be repeating toxic parenting styles they themselves endured and didn't either have the opportunity to learn different or didn't create an opportunity for them to learn how to parent in a different way. And so here they are repeating these patterns with you. Okay? They are repeating these patterns with you. So I want to offer this tool that I learned from Dr. Pat Allen. Dr. Pat Allen is a marriage and family therapist, right? She does a lot of work with relationships, but she offers this tool called the Hi Bye Letter. And I want to offer it because I hear a lot of people say, how do I heal from a relationship like that? What if I go speak to my mother and she never speaks to me, or she brushes me aside as she's always done? What if I never get closure? Well, that word closure, let's talk about it. I understand the wanting for closure because our brain works in that way where we like things to be complete. We like a circle to be complete. If we hear a little jingle of a song, and we don't hear the whole song, sometimes we want to keep, hey, I want to hear the rest of the song. So the song stays on your brain until you sing it so much that you, okay, you can let it go. I get that feeling. I understand it. The truth is, because you have zero control over your mother, you have zero control over her response. So if your plan is to get closure from a relationship like that, you're going to perhaps have to do something on your own. Okay? You're going to have to do something on your own, perhaps. And even if it might include your mother, you have to be open to the possibility that the response your mother gives is not what you anticipated. It still doesn't feel good. Or they might just disregard you still. Okay? So the name of the tool, like I say, is the high bye letter. And if you've lost your mother, right? If your mother's dead and Mother's Day is going to be painful for you too, you can also use this high bye letter, because I have a sense that many of us have not necessarily processed our feelings about our losses in a way, in a strategic way. So many of us keep walking through life when we don't know, when we don't have access to these tools. We keep walking through life with the pain just kind of like a ball of frozen pain. Um, and we are easily back in the place of loss and grief. It's harder to heal, I think, when you don't do that kind of work. And I like to offer these strategies because I want you to use them. Because I know for many of you who listen to me, you don't have access to a therapist. So if you have a pen, or if you have your phone, and you can open to your notes section in your phone, or you can grab a pen and a piece of paper, write this down. Okay? So I want you to imagine that you're writing your mother a letter. And there'll be several paragraphs in the letter. The first paragraph, I want you to write about everything you love about your mother, everything you love about the relationship with your mother, everything you love about yourself because of your mother. That's your first paragraph. If you want, you can write it, in bullet form, where you're just expressing the thoughts and the memories and the ideas. So write that down. I encourage you to write a letter, because if you feel led to, I want you to offer it to your mother. And if your mother is gone, if you want to, you can go to the gravesite, read it to your mother, or sit in your bed and read it to your mother. Many of us, many of you perhaps did not get an opportunity to say everything you wanted to say to your mothers before they passed. Here's an opportunity. Okay? So the first paragraph, the joys, the beautiful things. I have a feeling you can find at least one. Okay? Second paragraph, this is the part where you talk about all the hurt, all the pain. I feel so sad because, I feel so angry with you still because, I am so hurt when I remember, when I recall X, Y, Z. I remember the time you did A, B, C. Now I'm going to tell you this. For many of you, when you get to that part, some of you are going to be feeling guilty and maybe almost afraid to write that down. But I want to encourage you to do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. You might feel guilty because many of us are taught to not talk back to our parents. Yeah? We're also taught that our parents are godlike, right? So the thought sometimes of expressing anger towards a parent can feel terrifying, can feel very uncomfortable. But deep breath. You're a separate soul, you're a separate human being. You have every right to whatever emotions you're feeling. Whatever emotions you're feeling are the emotions that you're feeling, and you have a right to them. I'm going to keep preaching this. You have a right to your emotions. What you choose to do with them, that's a different thing. But you have every right to experience whatever emotion you're experiencing. The end of that story. Okay? So you write all the pains, all the hurts, all the disappointments, all the unmet needs, all the expectations, all the wishes you had that were not fulfilled. Write it in that paragraph. The same thing for if your mother has passed, because regardless of how beautiful your relationship was with your mother, there are going to be expectations that you had. There are going to be uh, things you wish you could have told her, and so there's still pain there. There are going to be things you miss. Okay? There are going to be things you wish she had done in a different way. Okay? And then the third paragraph is okay, based on this experience I've had with this human being as my mother, what do I want moving forward? Based on what I've experienced, what do I want as I move forward in life? Because I'm still here. And for some of you, your mothers are still here. What do I want, perhaps, from that relationship as we keep moving forward? Even if your relationship has always been lovely with your mother, what an opportunity to clean out that, clean things up. What do I want moving forward? And then the next paragraph, what do I never want to experience again based on what I've been through with my mother? What do I never in this life want to experience again based on what I've been through with my mom? Okay. And then finally, here's the gift. Because you always want to look for the gifts in life. Every mess, you want the message. Okay. Every situation, you want to look for a silver lining, a something I can take out of that experience so that I can create meaning. I can add value to that experience. Or else, man, I'm telling you, we can keep walking through life with a lot of pain, a lot of weight on your back that you don't need to be walking through life with. You can release the energy of those experiences and choose what you're going to keep with you as you move forward. So, thank you, Mom, for the pain of our relationship, because out of that experience, I learned that I will create a much more positive experience for my own children. And to do that, I will take parenting classes. I will read a book on how to parent better. Yes? So that's a positive you can take. Thank you for that experience. Out of that, I learned A, B, C. And I wish the rest didn't come with it, but it is what it is. So there's a principle called radical acceptance. And radical acceptance is a principle in mindfulness where, regardless of the reality, whatever it was, it was. Right? Because whatever it was, it was. There's nothing you can do to change it. So just accept it. You can make that choice to radically accept it. Even if that experience was so painful, you can choose to keep moving forward through your life with a sense of radical acceptance. Yeah, I wish I had a different mother. I used to long for me to be that lady across the street, her child. I wish I grew up with her. Fact is, I didn't. So reality is reality. And many of us have to practice accepting reality as reality is showing up. So once you write that letter, you can decide if you're going to send it to your mother. So today's what? Today's Thursday. Some of you still have an opportunity. You can share it with your mother if you want. I would encourage you, if you share it with your mother, to practice that sense of radical acceptance where you release your attachment to the outcome of her reading the letter. What do I mean? Have zero expectations. You're doing this exercise for whom? Not your mother, for yourself. You're doing it, yeah, to process your feelings, the pain, the rage, the loss, the shame, the guilt, the embarrassment, the whatever it is. You're doing it for you. So whether or not your mother gives you the response that you wish for, it's okay because you've done your part. So the idea of closure, that's your closure. Releasing, letting go. Releasing, letting go of what is no longer serving you. That's what you're doing. And that is separate from whether or not your mother either is able to respond, because remember, your mom might be gone, or whether or not she does respond if she's alive. Okay? All right. So that's my encouragement to you tonight. If you've had a painful experience with your mother as her daughter, as her son, write her a hi-bye letter. The joys of the relationship, the pains and the hurts, what you want moving forward, what you never want again, and your biggest lessons from that experience, however horrible, whatever gifts, you got to look for it. Okay? Because this relationship with you hurt so much, Mom, I am choosing to be a better parent myself. You showed me the importance of having a good parent because I really longed for one with you. So I'm going to do that as I move forward in life. My other two recommendations to you guys, if this is your experience of having had what people call a toxic mother, a narcissistic, unloving, unkind, destructive human being for your mother, you want to do what we call reparenting. You've got to become your parent. You've got to parent the little child. And the best way I know to do that is to find a good therapist. Find a good therapist who can help you work through that, because the relationship between a mother and a child is so primal and it is so powerful that if it's a burden for you, my sense is it's probably impacting almost every area of your life on one level or another. So this Mother's Day week, this Mother's Day week, where you might be feeling so burdened with, what am I going to do this Sunday? If you lost your mother this past year, within the past 2 years, for some of us, it takes a long time. You got a beautiful opportunity to write her a hi-bye letter and process some of those feelings that you've been carrying with you. Okay? For those of you who your mommy is the best and you can't wait for Sunday and you're excited about the day, I wish you a happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, Evelina. Happy Mother's Day, Yvonne. And share this information with anybody you know who's probably going to be having a hard time on the weekend. Okay? So, this is my offering for this evening. This is my offering for tonight. I want to wish all of you mothers happy Mother's Day. Enjoy the day, enjoy the weekend, enjoy your babies. And those of you who it's going to be a challenge for you, take care of yourselves. Okay? Take good care of yourselves. Write a hi bye letter and read it to your mama, or put it in the mail, or burn it, or flush it down the toilet. But I can almost guarantee you're going to feel some shifting in your feelings, in your emotions after you do that exercise. Okay? All right. Hope you have a lovely Thursday night. I am signing off. I will see you all next Thursday. Okay? Peace.